Greetings and stalagmites, everyone. Tonight I'm going to be talking about the things that I learned in terms of how to YouTube, what to do with the videos that I'm going to be making, lighting, to audio, to just everything, as well as another person that I've been watching his videos for a little while now. He's really gotten into 3D printing, but he caught my eye because he had done basically a man cave tour of all of his setup, of his computer setup, and it just amazed me. It's what I've wanted to do for quite a while, and maybe one day when I have the room. I mean, I kind of have some of the room right now, but it isn't quite there yet. I'd like a little bit more square footage in my room before I proceeded to do something along those lines. But anyway, already starting to get off topic, and we're already about 1 minute and 20 seconds into the video. So, today I learned, subreddit. Today I learned that, after talking with my good friend Trendane, who has his own Dear Dairy over on his channel, and I will link to him either in the annotation or in the video notes down below. Some tips and tricks from him to add on to what I already do. But even just in YouTube itself, after playing around a little bit last night and seeing the different things, the analytics are pretty interesting. I've used Google Analytics before with my own websites and whatnot, which is awesome. It almost gives me way too much information, but for YouTube, the analytics section is perfect. Actually, I'd realized that some videos on my other account had been monetized and was doing pretty well. I'm surprised. I don't know why. Even such things as videos for an automatic cheese grater. I don't know. As Trent said, I will either understand it or I will go crazy trying to figure out how this whole thing works. But anyway, so we went over doing your own audio track on top of a video, which is, I thought it was harder. And I've done a little bit of editing in iMovie, so that's pretty simple. I've never done audio on top of video, I mean, just video. Cutting videos together and doing fades or whatever, that's pretty easy. But when it comes to doing audio or multiple things in a video, I thought it was going to be so much harder, and today I found out it's not actually that hard at all, which is awesome. And I guess that's part of why everybody's doing vlogging or creating videos and why YouTube is so popular. Who'd have thought? But we had a lot of fun. There was a site that he'd showed me today. I'd have to honestly go find it, but even just thinking about it makes me laugh. If thanks to him, I'll go ahead and put the link down again in the video comments below, or video notes below, and it's taking pictures and covers from cookbooks, and some of them, surprisingly enough, look really, really, really weird. By that, you take a look at the picture, and you just go, wait a minute, what is that? And then so the person also goes on to describe what exactly is going on in these pictures, and you'd have to see it to understand it, but it's hilarious, and that was how we started out our day. On top of that, so the other The other thing I wanted to talk about today was this other person that I've been watching on YouTube for a little bit. His channel is Barnacules Nerdgasm. And the video that had caught my eye, because I've been watching a lot of tech videos lately, just upgrading your machine, or having a great setup for... it started all... I mean, that and battle stations. If you go to the battle stations subreddit on Reddit, there's some really awesome looking stuff on there. But on top of all that, I think that's how I came across this video. Anyway. So I had started watching it, and just the way that he goes, I mean, some of this, well, I should say some of the stuff. Like, one or two of the things I was rather happy I actually already have. I just don't have it set up as cleanly as he does, with all the wires and such, but now I think I'm getting closer. I just need a little bit more space. Just more space. It's just cramped in here sometimes. Whole bed in the background and things. It's just... I don't know how to deal with that. Anyway. So the video just goes over, the one in particular I'm talking about, just goes over his whole setup and all the things that he has that are either 3D printed, or from his sound system, to his monitor and TV setup, to his cameras, to his microphones, to his headphones, to all various things, and it's just awesome. And I'm working on trying to do that more. I perhaps will once we find out what happens with our living situation here in a few months. Hopefully we'll be able to stay in the current residence. But that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. And, yeah, there's a lot of awesome tech videos out there, just from the one I just mentioned to, I think another one is Tech Syndicate. It's really awesome as well. That's almost like a whole network in and of itself. There's inbox.exe, there's, what's the other one? There's just a kind of a regular podcast sort of thing. And then it's almost become, for me, YouTube, it's like one of those things where it's like, okay, I'm going to sit down. I'm going to have something to eat. Oh, well, let's pop something on. I'm not really in the mood for a show, so I think I'm going to watch YouTube. And find something that's going to be on for 15, 20 minutes, or find 15, 20 minute long videos and gain information. Videos and audio has always, well, it's not always, but has been a easier way for me to suck up knowledge, because when I was a kid, I used to read all the time. My mom had actually even walked in on me reading the dictionary. I loved reading that much. I just read everything. You stuck a word or a book in front of me and I would read it. I loved it. As I grew out of it in a fairly short period of time once I got into high school, but that was the way I used to gain knowledge. And after a while, I realized that I wasn't retaining knowledge as well that way. So now, watching videos or listening to audio, etc., is just so much easier for me to absorb that knowledge. It's more fun, in a way, for video at least, because then you also have the visual cues. Not to say that I need books with pictures if I was ever to read a book, but for books have to be fictional almost for me to understand. I mean, well, not understand, but read them, because then it kind of sparks that image in my head as to, okay, well, now there's this creative side of the book that I can't see exactly, or that I see differently than the author had meant to, and that makes it much more interesting. Or things like Fast Food Nation, where it's about current events or how things are, but not in a historical sense. History books and history, for some reason, has always bored me, but ironically enough, I'd mentioned Downton Abbey earlier this week, but it's the first show that I've actually watched that I don't think it's entirely, I know it's not historically accurate, but I mean, very, very basic things such as the war in 1919 or 1900 or the 1900s, which would be now, well, actually, no, it wouldn't be now. 1919, I think, and the emotion behind it, because, and a lot of you will probably hate me for saying this, but Saving Private Ryan was not one of those movies that I thoroughly enjoyed, and it didn't really catch my interest or my eye in any way, shape, or form. I just couldn't get into it. It was too wartime, and there was nothing else going on except the war, which, well, in that time period, I understand that, but for some reason with Downton Abbey, there's a side story. So what else is happening besides the war? Because obviously during the war, for Saving Private Ryan, there wasn't just the war. There was other things going on in all other different parts of the world. So what's going on at home? Not just the war. So anyway, that is going to do it, I think, for tonight. We're running on my 12th minute here. So by all means, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, story requests, because I need to think of more of those, or anything along those lines, post them in the comments, please. Or just let me know. I am all over the place, as you might have been able to tell. So and by all means, if you ever want to get notified, I mean, I'm going to be doing these daily anyway, so if you're interested, awesome. Subscribe. It's a great idea. Because that way you don't even have to think about the fact that I'm posting every day. You just, next time you pop on YouTube, oh look, he's posted 3 videos. Anyway. That's going to do it. So I will leave you all, and you take care. And until next time, good night, and good luck.